This week we're looking at the second mark of mission, teaching, baptizing, and nurturing believers. For me, the word that stands out there is baptizing. And when I think about what it might mean to baptize believers or help them be baptized, I think especially about the typical Lenten period of preparation for baptism. So in days of old, Lent was very important for the community to come together and help those preparing for baptism be baptized. Now there's two kinds of baptism generally. There's the sacramental form, which we're familiar with, the baptizing of someone with water, sort of as a symbol and a sign of something that's going on internally, which is the second form, the baptism of spirit. Both John the Baptist and Jesus both talk about this, these two types of baptism, of water and spirit. Sometimes it's the baptism of spirit is referred to as a baptism of fire. I guess the way they might relate is that the baptism of water is sort of a symbol pointing to the inward reality of this baptism of the heart, of this sort of new relationship that we find with God through Christ. And of course, this raises the question, for something like that, for something that seems to be more in the arena of grace given by God, what can we do as fellow believers to help someone experience that kind of baptism, that kind of turning toward Christ, that baptism of the heart? And I think really it's very simple. I think all forms of true spirituality involve this idea of remembering. We're not really learning anything new in this kind of baptism. We're sort of remembering something we've already known but have forgotten somehow. And so perhaps as a community, we need to come together and just sort of remind ourselves of what God's truth is. And how do we do that? By giving ourselves in service out of love for each other. And through those simple acts of love and generosity, help each other come to this form of baptism, this baptism of the Spirit, this indwelling of Christ. So we might ask ourselves, are there people in our lives that we can think of that we might be able to help by serving out of love, and so bringing the baptism of Spirit to them?